Alright, what is going on here? You see how cloudy and nasty and dirty the Stingray tank is? Well, there is a reason for that. I just had to get underneath this stand, rip apart the entire filter to fix one teeny tiny problem. Now, for the last week, Jerry kept telling me that the floor is getting wet, and he thought it was from the dog bone. But I fixed the dog bone, so I knew it was not that. So I had to pretty much get under this 2200 and figure out where the problem was coming from. So I had to trace down the water. And meanwhile, while this is going on, Jerry's over here doing water changes on quarantine. And of course, the tank gets overflowed, so some water rushes by. So
Jerry
making
overflow tanks.
So we had a little bit harder time to find it, but we did find the culprit, and it is fixed now. So while I was under there, let me see if I can get you guys a better look. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see too much, but this is a 4x4 by 30-inch filter box. You can see we've got 8 socks up here. That's the inlet coming from the overflows. And if it gets too high, it comes over the edge. Now we have all of our biomedia in here, and then we have the pump going back up, and then I have another pump on here that's going straight to mechanical. Well, with how much water flow that we had coming through it, that was airlocked, so we were getting a big rush of air coming up and coming over. So first thing, I drilled some overflow holes here to see if we can fix that problem. Did not work, so I had to go and try out another theory. Now this whole back side, you can see it's all wet. It was coming over and dripping onto the ground, getting everything soaking wet here. So I tried another way, and basically what I did was I'm like, I just need to basically release that air. So I drilled a series of 3 smaller holes, and I kept drilling a small hole until there was enough air escaping when this water level was up to here, that would not happen. So now we have the leak 100% fixed, and now this was happening on both sides, here and there, because when these socks get plugged up, they basically go through at a smaller rate and they overflow here. So then we were overflowing on the right side of this box. And then of course, while I was under there, I replaced some of the filter socks, so it'll basically clean this back up in no time at all, especially with both of the pumps running. But every time you change a mechanic on your tank, something else changes. I added in this extra mechanical filter up here and the extra pumpage on the tank because of all these rays that are now in here. It changed the flow rate on that box down there just a little bit and caused this problem. Alright, it's not all bad. That'll clear up in just a few short hours. While I was out here, I went ahead and moved that big old high fin up into the 180 over here. They're gonna definitely rearrange this tank a bit. I'm probably gonna take some plants out of here so they have some room to grow. As like these rhizomes from this Anubias is kind of just growing straight up in the air. If I remove some and kind of split them up, everyone will have more room to grow, and I can keep, you know, divvying up plants all over the place. This tank is probably going to have to be the same thing done to it soon, because if you guys see, also added a bunch more plants here. But I've been working on trying to get this electric eel tank all planted up. We got a potted plant in there now. And then I have rubber bands with all different snippets of the Anubias trying to grow down here. We even have some crypts down here attached to that rock. Pretty much everywhere I can go. Once you put a Anubias in the tank, the leaves will kind of die back a little bit, and then it'll get used to the amount of light that you have in the tank, and then it'll start growing up each, you know, shoot of this log. So in a couple of months, probably closer to 6, this log will all be covered in green plants. And I'm going to try and get a few more formations like this, create a little cave for Mr. Tesla here, and that puts more plants onto our system as well. And I've been starting a bunch of smaller ones down here in this 75 quarantine. Once they get rooted enough and have enough, you know, green sprouts, you can see that one right there, just sprouted them 2 small ones. Have them 2 small ones back there. And then this one I'm trying to get attached to that rock. So that one will look like this big clump back there. That is a piece of wood, and it just overgrew and took it over. You could essentially take that clump and set it wherever you want, kind of just like that clump there. So I'm going to try and get all these pieces of wood in this tank, looking like this piece over here as well. We went ahead and cut back all the anubias in this tank that was all bad and diseased, so that'll have a nice fresh growth there. Probably need to cut a couple of these leaves off of this plant here, and then they can all grow back nice and new. Went ahead and added that one here. That was just a rhizome, and now you can see that there is a bunch of smaller leaves starting to sprout all over it. So soon that'll attach to that log there and spread all over. And that is basically 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks now on this system that'll be heavily planted. You just got to kind of pick all the fish that you want to put in there. Kind of like these discus right here. If you see these 2 paired off in that corner, the eggs are fertilized up on the overflow there, but I am not sure if they are going to let these ones hatch out this time. We have not been successful in a spawn. We've gotten fertile eggs where they look reddish in color, and they've got the little black dots inside, but we're hoping this time will be the one. And while we are talking about growth, look how full and lush this saltwater tank is looking. As you can see, everything is just spreading like wildfire in here. All these leathers, there's a bunch new spores that popped up. We have the zoas are actually multiplying. This green star polyp is growing like weeds. I'm going to have to get in here and take some of it out, but it actually attaches to the glass right here, and it'll actually suffocate out your other corals, so you want to be really careful. That whole rock right there is almost covered in, you know, zoa colonies there. The fish look absolutely amazing. We've got the blue Thompson tang, the blonde Nassau, there's a sailfin, a couple of different types of clownfish and foxface. There's a couple other tangs in here as well. And my favorite one is the purple tang, but he is hiding in the back right now. And probably our most expensive tang in this tank, but this is looking like an amazing reef tank. Oh, there goes my purple tang. He is coming out. Come and say hi, bud. Look at him. He is an absolute beauty. He is all like a bluish purple with the yellow tail. My absolute favorite fish in this tank. Okay, you guys can see that tank cleared right up. It's just been a few hours, so not that bad. Actually just got done feeding them as well. You can see they all got some big old tummies on them. I've been taking Jerry around and showing him exactly what to feed each tank. So we got him a schedule down, and it should be as easy as possible. But we have another thing that we've been thinking about. So we know we had the saltwater tank that was going to go here, but we had the issue of this floor right here. So we've been getting a lot of reptiles, so I just decided let's go ahead and set up a little reptile area. They'll only be turned on when reptiles come in, and they'll have pre-made cages set up for them. So that's what this area could potentially be used for. And then the other salt tank there, still waiting on that. We're not guaranteed that that's out of here. Then my dad mentioned putting the 540 over there, because he wants these couches out underneath the new gazebo. So that might be salt tank there, salt tank here, and then I might just set that up. Who knows? Things are always changing around here, as you guys know, but we are always working towards a common goal, and that is for the betterment of Ohio Fish Rescue. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will be in Mexico, so next week you guys will get a tour video from me. And I will see you guys once I am stateside again. As always, stay fishy, my friends.